Crawford beats Canelo, a great fight between great fighters producing upset of the year. Hello fight fans, this is Coach Nathan of NS Champ 7 Power Boxing with a recap of Terence Bud Crawford's historical upset win over the former undisputed Super Middleweight World Champion and future Hall of Famer Saul Canelo Alvarez. First off, both of these guys, well, in my opinion at least, are still at the mountaintop in pound-for-pound greatness in professional prize fighting because of their accomplishments. Anyone who's laced up the gloves, climbed through those ropes into the ring to face a guy whose sole purpose is to take your head clean off, well, obviously you can appreciate the accomplishments of both men. Case in point, now this is from a historical perspective. When Frazier first beat Ali, then Ali returned the favor in a rematch, and then Duran beat Leonard, who also returned the favor in a rematch. When Marvin Hagler beat Tommy Hearns, later on Leonard beats Hagler, and even in the case when Oscar De La Hoya beat Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. twice. Well, in each case, each of those fighters had or went on to have great boxing careers. Both have a lasting great legacy in the sport, made a whole lot of money, and all of those guys I just mentioned are in the Boxing Hall of Fame. Well, the same with these two. Crawford and Canelo, in this matchup, both came prepared, both came to fight, and both came to win. I personally thought that Canelo had the advantage in superior size, punching power, and ring activity coming into this match. However, Bud Crawford trained at altitude in Colorado Springs, which boosted his stamina. He sparred with bigger guys and did thousands of sit-ups, crunches, and neck lifts to prepare for the punching power that he knew he would face. He had absolutely no intimidation, and he also employed a smart strategy of when to move, when to feint, and when to punch, all of which causes him not only to become the undisputed Super Middleweight Champion of the world, but the first fighter in ring history to be undisputed world champion in 3 different weight classes: junior welterweight, welterweight, and super middleweight. Canelo, for his part, was a class act, as he's always demonstrated in defeat, as well as he is in victory. I've never heard him trash or foul-mouth an opponent or cry foul after a match, and I personally love the high level of sportsmanship on display from both camps. As for their futures, both these guys have earned the prestige of fighting or doing whatever they decide to do. But once again, from a historical perspective, neither fighter has anything left to prove in a boxing ring and should ride off into the sunset, boxing-wise, and concentrate on their families, since both have small young children. Now on the undercard, the fight that should have been the co-main event, but wasn't, was between the former 2016 Olympian and undefeated knockout artist Christian Mbile, who's ranked number 5 by Ring Magazine, and his opponent was the unranked Bomac prospect and Bud Crawford's sparring partner, Lester Martinez. Well, this match should be on a Junior Fight of the Year list at least, if one existed, because of its wall-to-wall action, which always looked like it was going to end in a knockout, and because it was a title eliminator, which also means it should have been scheduled for 12 rounds instead of 10, which probably would have changed that result in favor of one of the fighters rather than it being a draw. But all in all, it was an entertaining night of professional prize fighting, with real fighters producing real fights, as opposed to the recent epidemic of clown shows and circus fights with fake fighters using fake hype, wanting you to spend real money with bull-it results. Which is why afterward they talk more about the money that was made, or rather milked, instead of the quality of the so-called fights. So, that's my take on this one, folks. But don't forget, for elite boxing instruction, elite boxing analysis, and elite boxing philosophy, click that like and notification button, share and subscribe to me, Coach Nathan, at NS Champ 7 Power Boxing. And as always, I'll be seeing you the next main event.